Take two. Mom, Mazal Tov. Today is your retirement. Except I'd like to speak not about retirement, but graduation, and the difference between the two. You've been to lots of graduations, many, many graduations. You've been to graduations of your children, graduations of your students, graduations of your grandchildren, even grandstudents, students of students. What's the difference between a graduation and a retirement? I'd like to share an idea based on something that we read in Parshat HaShavua and Ba'alotcha just a few weeks ago. We know the story of the Slav and the Jewish people wanting more meat, mi yachilenu basar, and the Jewish people complaining to Moshe Rabbeinu and saying, who's going to feed us? And Moshe says to Hashem, I can't do this on my own. So Hashem says, Moshe, gather 70 people and bring from your Ruach HaKodesh, and your Ruach HaKodesh should spread down over them. And that way, you'll be able to share the burden of the leadership of Am Yisrael. Moshe does that, as we know, and they have Ruach HaKodesh, and everything is wonderful. Except, the Torah tells us that after Moshe's Ruach HaKodesh left the 70, Vayisharu shnei anashim b'machaneh, Shem ha'echad Eldad, v'shem ha'shani Meidad, v'tanach aleim haruach, v'hema b'ktuvim, v'lo yatzu ha'ola, v'yitnabu b'machaneh. Two people named Eldad and Meidad, they remained in the camp. They remained in the center of the camp and had Ruach HaKodesh, and they continued to prophesy. Sounds good, right? Except, Vayarat Anar, Vayaged Moshe Vayomar, Eldad and Meidad midabim b'machaneh. Somebody runs to Moshe and says, hey, you'll never believe this. Eldad and Meidad, they're still prophesying. Vayan Yehoshua ben Nun Mesharet Moshe b'bachurav, Vayomar Adoni Moshe kilaem. And Yehoshua comes up to Moshe and he says to Moshe, he's a servant of Moshe from his childhood, from his youth, and he says, Moshe kilaem, stop them. Rashi says, Yehoshua said to him, Moshe, put them in jail. It's terrible what they're doing. What's so bad? Why should he stop Eldad and Meidad? Says Rashi, why? Lefi shayu mitnab'im Moshe met, v'Yehoshua machnis et Yisrael la'aretz. Because their prophecy was one that was dangerous to Moshe. Because they were prophesying after this event, Moshe will die, and Yehoshua is the one who will bring them into Eretz Canaan. Yehoshua came and said, stop it. It can't be. You have to stop them from prophesying. Moshe's answer teaches us a lot about teaching, what it means to be a Rav, what it means to be a teacher, and also a little bit about what it means to retire, as we'll soon see. Vayomer lo Moshe. Moshe says to Yehoshua, Hamakaneh atali? Are you zealous for me? Umi yiten kol am Hashem niviim. Yitein Hashem et rucho aleihem. Halavai that Hashem should make all of his Am, his whole nation, Nevi'im, that Hashem should put his Ruach on them. This is the dream of every teacher. Of course we teach information. Of course we teach knowledge. But the dream of every teacher is that their students learn not just what they teach them, but that they too become Nevi'ei Hashem. They too become those who promote the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They become teachers themselves. Mom, we can say that over the years you've taught a lot of people. You've had a lot of kids. And Baruch Hashem, even some of us, most of us have become teachers too. We followed in your footsteps. Your students have followed in your footsteps. And the words of Moshe Rabbeinu, Mi yitein kol ha'am Hashem nevi'im. What a great bracha. To have people see what you do and emulate what you do. But Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us a second lesson as well. Eldad and Meidad were, in other words, they were forecasting Moshe's retirement. Moshe Rabbeinu mate, right? He was the leader. He had a job to get us into Eretz Canaan, and now he's finished. It's time for somebody else to take the job. And Yehoshua says, Kilaim, stop it. No way. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, Yehoshua, relax. Maybe what they say is true. Maybe what they say is accurate, and I'm not going to bring Bnei Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael. But that doesn't mean I'm retiring. What it means is, teachers don't retire. Teachers graduate. Of course, Moshe Rabbeinu finished one task in life. He wasn't going to get Am Yisrael, as we know, we read Chedam Raglim, he wouldn't be able to bring them to Eretz Canaan. But he still had a lot to do. He still had a lot to teach. He had an entire half Sefer of Bamidbar, an entire Sefer of Devarim, Mishnah Torah, hundreds of mitzvot. So many important lessons for Am Yisrael. He was a Rav and he was a teacher. And he continued to teach, even after he no longer thought or believed he could get Am Yisrael into Eretz Canaan. So, Mom, our bracha to you is not happy retirement, happy graduation. Just as your tenure in yeshiva was, so successful. You taught hundreds, if not thousands of students. So many of them following your footsteps with a passion for Yahadut, passion for Ivrit, a passion for Navi. So too, our bracha to you is you should also follow in Moshe's footsteps as you continue to the next stage in life, in your graduation to the next stage. And you find new ways, new exciting ways, new people, new students to teach for Klal Yisrael. Mazal Tov.